In the far reaches of the galaxy, on a planet shrouded in perpetual twilight, lived a species known as the Lumin. They were ethereal beings, their translucent skin glowing faintly in the dim light, their eyes like twin moons reflecting the stars above. The Lumin communicated not through sound, but through a complex system of bioluminescent patterns that danced across their skin. Words were colors, sentences were shifting hues, and emotions were radiant bursts of light. Among them was a young Lumin named Zyla. She was different. While her kin could effortlessly paint their thoughts in vibrant displays, Zyla's glow was faint, erratic, and often unintelligible. She was silent in a world that spoke through light. The others tried to understand her, but her patterns were too chaotic, too broken. Over time, they stopped trying. Zyla became an outcast, a shadow among stars. But Zyla was not without hope. She had heard stories of the humans, a species from a distant world who had recently made contact with the Lumin. The humans were strange, loud, expressive, and full of energy. They communicated through sound, a concept both fascinating and terrifying to the Lumin. Zyla had never heard a human speak, but she had seen their ships in the sky, and she wondered if they could understand her in ways her own kind could not. One day, a human research team arrived on the Lumin homeworld. Among them was Dr. Elena Marquez, a linguist and xenobiologist who had dedicated her life to understanding alien cultures. Elena was fascinated by the Lumin's unique form of communication, but she quickly noticed the young Lumin who lingered at the edge of the crowd, her glow flickering uncertainly. Elena approached Zyla cautiously, her translator device humming softly. "Hello," she said, her voice gentle. "My name is Elena. What's yours?" Zyla hesitated, her skin pulsing a faint blue. The pattern was unclear, but Elena sensed the uncertainty in it. She knelt down, meeting Zyla at eye level. "I can't understand your light patterns yet," she admitted, "but I'd like to learn. Will you help me?" Zyla's glow brightened slightly, a flicker of hope breaking through the dimness. She reached out a slender hand, her fingertips brushing against Elena's. The human smiled, her warmth radiating even in the cold twilight. Over the following weeks, Elena and Zyla spent hours together. Elena taught Zyla about human speech, using simple words and gestures to bridge the gap between their worlds. Zyla, in turn, tried to teach Elena the Lumin language, though her patterns remained fragmented and difficult to decipher. One evening, as they sat beneath the planet's twin moons, Elena noticed something unusual. Zyla's glow had shifted, forming a pattern that almost resembled a human face. It was faint but unmistakable. Elena's heart leapt. "Is that me?" she asked, pointing to the glowing image. Zyla's light flickered in what Elena had come to recognize as a yes. It was the first clear communication between them, and it filled Elena with determination. She realized that Zyla's silence wasn't a lack of ability, but a lack of understanding. The Lumin's language was too rigid, too structured for Zyla's unique mind. But perhaps, with the right tools, she could find another way to express herself. Elena returned to her ship and began working on a device, a hybrid of human and Lumin technology. It was a small, wearable band that could translate Zyla's erratic light patterns into sound. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. When Elena presented the device to Zyla, the young Lumin hesitated. She had never heard her own voice, never imagined that such a thing was possible. But with Elena's encouragement, she slipped the band onto her wrist. At first, there was only static. Then, a sound emerged, soft, hesitant, but unmistakably a voice. Elena," Zyla said, her words halting but clear. Elena's eyes filled with tears. Zyla, she whispered. You did it. Word of Zyla's breakthrough spread quickly among the Lumin. At first, they were skeptical. How could a human device give voice to one who had been silent for so long? But when they heard Zyla speak, their doubts turned to awe. For the first time, they understood her. Her words were simple, but they carried a depth of emotion that her light patterns had never been able to convey. Zyla's newfound voice brought her closer to her people, but it also revealed a painful truth. The Lumin had always valued uniformity, their language a reflection of their collective identity. Zyla's differences had been seen as a flaw, a deviation from the norm. But now, they began to see her in a new light. Her voice was unique, her perspective invaluable. She was not broken. She was something new, something beautiful. Elena watched with pride as Zyla found her place among her people. But she knew their time together was drawing to a close. The human research team was scheduled to depart soon, and Elena would have to return to her own world. On their final night together, Zyla and Elena sat beneath the twin moons once more. Zyla's glow was steady now, a soft, warm light that mirrored the stars above. Thank you, she said, her voice stronger than before. You gave me a gift I never thought I'd have. Elena smiled, though her heart ached at the thought of leaving. You gave me a gift too, she replied. You showed me that no matter how different we are, we can always find a way to understand each other. Zyla reached out, her hand glowing faintly as it touched Elena's. Will you come back? She asked. I will, Elena promised. And until then, keep using your voice. The galaxy needs to hear it. Years passed, and Zyla became a bridge between the Lumin and the humans. Her unique perspective helped forge a lasting alliance between their species, and her voice became a symbol of hope for those who felt silenced. She never forgot the human who had helped her find her voice, and she often looked to the stars, wondering if Elena was looking back. On a distant planet, Elena Marquez stood beneath a sky filled with unfamiliar constellations. She thought of Zyla often, her heart warmed by the memory of the silent alien girl who had found her voice. And though they were light years apart, their bond remained unbroken, a testament to the power of understanding and the beauty of finding light in the darkest of places.